Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the CDL podcast channel. In this episode today, you guys can see it on the screen. It's going to be all Rostermania talk. We're not wasting any time with anything else, any kind of games, anything. We're just going to do all Rostermania because I have a feeling we're going to yap a lot. If you guys enjoy this one, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. If you're on the audio platforms, drop a follow, drop a 5-star review. Boys, we expected this to be a pretty crazy Rostermania. It's always going to be crazy when a team that couldn't win a map for 2 months wins the final 2 events of the year because that means probably everybody's changing. And I don't know who made this website, uh, but this website is incredible. So if somebody out there does know who made this, please shout them out in the comments or link me their Twitter or something because this website, Brad, we were looking at this before. This website is incredible.
Yeah, it is.
Got updated
It's very
headshots
nice.
of the players. You can create your own rosters. I can click on this. You guys can't see it on my screen, but a tab opens up on the side with all the players they have listed as available. It's kind of funny. They have it in like it might be the turtle guy that made it again because he has the same like X CDL challengers CDL. Then he has goat, one person in the goat category formal. Uh, but this is an incredible website. You can just mix and match. You can pull the players off the roster, put them back in. So shout out to this dude because this is an incredible website. Probably the best
Yeah,
thing
and
that's
it's
ever
so
happened during
clean.
WrestleMania.
Yeah.
It's very nice to have.
Yeah, but I mean, we got a lot to talk about today. I guess I'm on. I got Ronnie's Twitter pulled up on the side. I'm gonna kind of go through just like random rumors, kind of as they happen, talk about them, like where our heads were at because for like the last about week, it's just been like, "This is happening. Oh, just kidding. This is actually happening. Nope, this is back on. No, that's on." It's just been back and forth. So the first thing, kinda like the first big domino, I guess, like, there was a lot of people saying, "I'm a free agent, I'm a free agent, I'm a free agent," but the first, like, big official reported domino, I guess I would say, like, Cellium becoming an unrestricted free agent. I feel like that was the
Yeah.
kickoff of everything. Would you guys agree?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Like you had people announcing their free agents. Not saying that other players, don't matter. Like you had the rocker roster, um, kind of moving on. Like the surge roster expected to hit free agency, but these weren't all official. And then all of a sudden, Cellium tweets that he's a free agent, um, and bang, it's all off and going from there. Then the first big rumor in terms of rosters that comes out um, is LAT making an offer to Cellium. I guess. Let's start there in this whole timeline of stuff. Let's start there. LAT make an offer to Cellium. The article comes out they're eyeing a main AR replacement after the disappointing season finish. Um, and start there, I guess. What are your thoughts when you hear that? When you hear Cellium is going to Thieves? Obviously, new information has come out. We now know Cellium not going to Thieves, but when you hear Cellium to Thieves, and at that point, we think the roster is just Cellium replacing Ghosty. We think it's Envoy, Hydra, Scrap, Cell. I'm thinking crazy roster, but damn, they got rid of the one guy that'll touch the hill.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, like I said, great player, but maybe not the right fit for the team and what they need.
Yeah. Uh, and at this time, they have it listed in the article here from back then, like a week ago about now. Abuza, Cellium, and Draza were their three main targets. Draza is just hilarious because Scrap was still on the team. Apparently, the beef couldn't be squashed. I'm glad it couldn't be because it leads to just so much more entertainment for us. I'm glad the beef couldn't be squashed personally,
Yep.
very selfishly, because I,
Thanks.
I want to see the beef continue. It's way more fun. Um, Abuza would have been an interesting pickup. Obviously, we know who they actually did pick up, so I like it way more than Abuza. Um, but yeah, I guess your thoughts, Brad. Your thoughts when you see selling him to Thieves is what we initially thought.
I mean, I immediately think just outslay everybody in the game.
That would be their
Um,
goal, probably.
yeah, like, I mean, obviously, I feel like one of the guys, which would probably have to be at this point Envoy, which obviously we know isn't necessarily the case anymore. But he probably would have had to made the sacrifice and be kind of like that dirty role kind of guy. I feel like I mean, when you have Cellium's Hydra and Scrap, like you're not going to lose many gunfights. I feel like so, like I think it would have been a nasty roster. It honestly would have been the X factor would have been Envoy, I think, but obviously that's not the case anymore. But
feel like Envoy would have been left out to dry a lot on that team,
Yeah,
which I
yeah.
think might be the case with Cellium's new team. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. Maybe not necessarily Envoy, but somebody else on that team maybe left out. But don't want to spend too much time, I guess, overall in that roster, in that rumor, because obviously we know it doesn't happen. Um, then it comes out LAT are, targeting Abezy, Joe, and Neptune to replace Envoy for the Black Ops 7 season. This is still when we think that Cellium is going there. Neptune's name kind of fell off for a lot of teams. There was the whole like accusation of Adderall abuse and everything with Neptune, and his name just isn't on the radar of a lot of people, which like shottzyy was mind blowing, saying like he thought he was like the most impactful player in the game last year. So no idea why people aren't targeting him.
Yeah.
Kind of agree with that too.
But
Like Neptune was nasty last year. I have no idea why he's not being targeted unless there's something we don't know about. Um, but they quickly pivoted off him. Then Toronto's owner says, "We're not moving Joe," which, oh no, that leaves him targeting Abezy, the best of the three. Uh,
Yeah.
so they then target Abezy. They make Ghosty a restricted free agent. And I guess let's stick with Thieves then. That's where we are at. That's what makes this Thieves roster that you see in front of us here. Uh, I don't. Who wants to give their thoughts first?
um, I will. I think this is one of the best teams in the league right now. I mean, obviously Kenny kind of wins wherever he goes. I think, and then obviously you have just a bash your face in with with Abezy. This team is incredible, and I think honestly Kenny. I think Kenny's like as far as like roles in the team, not necessarily like in game, but like kind of like the head of the team. Like I think he's gonna be able to kind of reel in that talent that Hydra and Scrap have because they are arguably two of the most talented players in their position in the league. And I think this team, especially with Kenny, which those of you that watch might not like it very much, but I mean, obviously Kenny has proven in time and time again that he knows how to win. And with this roster, are you kidding me? Like,
Yeah,
No doubt he'll win.
I guess bad podcasting on my part for those of you that are just listening audio. If you haven't heard the roster, it's Kenny, Scrap, Hydra, Abezy. Um, obviously, it. Brock, what are your thoughts on this roster? I have like a whole weird thing that I think is funny about this roster, but what are your thoughts on it?
Man, this roster is lots of talent, upgraded. Two players potentially, if you mean players, if you think Kenny's better than Ghosty or not, you'll be the judge of that. But I certainly think so. So two upgrades and some more, Kenny comms and
Mhm.
more IGL, and Abezy is running it down, and Paco just running behind him, getting all the kills. Seeing kind of
Yeah,
Hydra in that and Scrap like that.
yeah. I think this is hilarious because for whatever reason, Kenny has a ton of haters. I don't know why,
Yeah.
but he has a lot of haters, and I think it's hilarious because like if you like the two times he's gotten on his last two really good rosters, he's been on like pretty much good rosters for most of his career. Maybe apart from a few blips here and there, like kind of everybody does. But when he got on Optic, he was coming off an MW2 season where he didn't have his best performance. And people
Mhm.
were kind of like, well, how did Kenny get onto that team? Like how did he end up getting to team with shottzyy and uh and Pred and Dashy. Like at the time, Pred's coming off like amazing years. He's viewed as one of the best. Shottzy's one of the best. Dashy's one of the best. Like, how did Kenny get on that team after struggling? Then he wins a world championship. Then last year, obviously, another very down year for Kenny, and he finds himself teaming with maybe the two most talented players in the game and one of the most talented players, like three of the most talented players we've ever seen. On maybe his worst year, he gets onto that team. And if that doesn't tell you that Kenny is a top tier player, even though he struggled last year, I don't know what does. Like, I don't know how many times specifically Brock and I can tell you that Kenny is one of the most valued and best players in the league. When three of the best players in the league are picking him to be their teammate, I think that tells you
Yep.
all you need to know because these
Certainly.
guys, they obviously tried for Cellium first, couldn't get him, but after that, I think they could have literally picked any AR besides Straza who didn't want to play with Scrap or the other way around. They could have picked literally any AR that was available, and they went for Kenny. Obviously, the org probably wanted Kenny back as well.
Hmm.
Obviously, kind of woven into the fabric of that org is Kenny. I think this is you can't. I don't think you can say they're the best roster in the game because you have to give Optic that title until proven otherwise. This Optic team basically hasn't
Right.
lost in like a few months and won't
Wow.
lose until January or whatever. But I think Thieves are literally no doubt undisputed number two for now, unless some crazy roster gets formed. I mean, most of the rosters are pretty filled out, and the rosters that are blank, there's no possible way they can make a team better than this with the players remaining. Um,
Yeah.
so I think Thieves is certainly the second best team, just out of respect to Optic. You have to keep them one until proven otherwise. But like, if you would have told me that, like, if I didn't know how amazing Optic was playing, over the past little bit with that team, and you just threw them up on paper, um, I think that the sub duo of Thieves is probably better. Abezy and Hydra. I would take over huke and shottzyy, just on paper, not off recency bias. And then
Okay.
Kenny Scrap, Dashy, Mercules. I mean, Mercules is insane. You can take your pick there, but they can certainly battle with the two of them.
Yeah.
Hmm.
This team is insane. I'm so hyped. I should have worn my LA Thieves. I got an LA Thieves shirt. I should have worn it today. That's my team for next year now, as long as this roster signs. Um, Dude, I tweeted at Jake and I was like, "Yo, you got any room in the LA Thieves camp?" And that tweet like blew up. Everybody was liking it, telling me they're so hyped. So I guess I'm welcome into the LA Thieves camp. That's where I'm at next year.
Go,
This team's insane
man.
though.
What a great roster.
Yeah, unbelievable team. And I actually agree with you, Brock. It is it's objectively true that Ghosty was better than Kenny last year.
Yep.
Like there's no arguing that Ghosty was a better player than Kenny last year. Um, but I think overall Kenny is what this team needs more. I think Abezy, Hydra, and Scrap are going to just be insane. And I think they need a player like Kenny that when it comes down to Sunday, instead of, blowing it like they were late in the year this year, they need a player like Kenny to just stabilize things and be a leader and a clutch player and,
Yeah.
establish more of that system.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Um, which leaves us, I mean, obviously, you got Optic up here, no changes being made there. Up here in the top left, probably the story of the
Interesting.
weekend. The Heretics,
Yep.
it was going down on Twitter. We got Real. So Brock, the night this happened, you and I were up at a cabin having a bunch of
Yep.
drinks with our boys. That this weekend, I was like, Rostermania stuff was happening, and Brock and I go up north to our friend's cabin with a bunch of our friends like once every summer, and this was that weekend. So we were having a bunch of drinks and just seeing random Rostermania stuff come in. So like I wasn't seeing it all like, oh, like usually if I was home, I'd be refreshing and trying to see it all. And like I was just like randomly seeing updates. And then I like woke up the next day and just like saw this because like this article was published at 3:50 a.m.
Yeah.
But the timeline was getting messy. So I guess order of
Yikes.
events here. Real is gaining interest from, Ultra, potentially other teams. I think they said Gentlemates was involved, offering him even bigger numbers in terms of his contract. Uh, so I guess Ultra or Koi offered to triple his salary from what he was making on Miami. He brings that offer to Miami, kind of is like, okay, this is what they're offering. Like, I'm gonna take it. Which smart? Why would you take triple your salary to go to arguably a better team?
Yep.
Um, and Miami is like, okay, we're gonna match it. So then Real verbally agrees, like, okay, yeah, that sounds good. I'll sign the contract. Again, verbally agreed means nothing. Obviously, we all know this. Like saying you're going to sign it doesn't mean it's signed. Jerry Jones, you could learn a thing or
Yep.
two. Uh, then I guess a few hours later, Miami's drafting up the contract or something, and they start to hear on Twitter that Real has signed with Ultra. And then they decide to air him out on Twitter.
Crazy.
Insane. Here's the post here. I don't want to really read it maybe word for word because it was so long, but they're basically summarizing what I said. And they say basically verbal agreements are common practice and traditionally are respected by agents, players, and teams. Just a few hours later, while we were working on drafting the contract, rumors began to circulate on social media claiming that the player and his agent had signed with another organization. So far, and despite our insistence, neither the player nor his agent have confirmed the breach of this verbal agreement. Although we understand the third party statements that he has, through third party statements, that he has already signed with another team. We want to express our full understanding of a player's decision to change teams. However, we strongly reject the breach of verbal agreements as it damages the trust and respect that should prevail in our industry. And they went on to say that they reaffirm their commitment to the continuity of this of the project that started in 2023 and their firm determination to keep working for and with the Spanish speaking Call of Duty community. Uh, it's one of the worst posts I've seen in COD sports history from our organization.
Yeah.
So as we know, I mean, teams will just drop you like flies when you have one bad
Yep.
map, one bad performance. They'll just drop you like crazy. Um, if Real would have came out and just been terrible for the first event next year, they would have dropped him. But
100%.
it's just like they're begging for loyalty, but like as a player, especially in Call of Duty, the worst thing you can do is be blindly loyal to an organization. You know, in a professional
Unless you're
sport,
Scump.
yeah. In a professional sport where you're a $1 billion industry, like, okay, yeah, maybe being loyal to your NFL team will, give you some benefits because you'll become a legend in that city and you'll get extra endorsement deals related to that city, especially if it's a big market. Maybe there's some benefit there, but for a Call of Duty organization, you're not getting benefit from being loyal to them unless it's like, yeah, like an Optic. Maybe then
Yeah.
content wise, you're getting something, but like him being loyal to the Miami Heretics gets him nothing. Actually, in this case, it would have gotten him a pay decrease. And also, the thing that's going on that Real tweeted is apparently his salary increase came at the decrease of all of his teammates, who are his boys, and he didn't like that. So not only were they just not going to increase his salary, they were going to decrease his boys' salary. So he was actually looking out for his friends and trying not to get their salaries decreased as well. Just a dirty thing to do from the org to just like
Yeah.
Yeah.
bash your player publicly and talk about how he has no loyalty and like sorry if I tell you that I want to if you ask me to go out for drinks and I say yeah but I don't make the plans, like I'm not legally binded to go out for drinks with you. Like if a player is like this is Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons all over again. Hey, do you want to play for the Cowboys next year? Yeah. Okay. Agent calls. Well, the deal's done. He said he wants to play for us. Well, that's not how a contract works. Like, he's got to sign the contract for it to work. So I get it. They're upset that he said he would go there, but like, I don't know. Maybe treat your players better.
Yeah.
I don't have any sympathy for Heretics in this situation.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you gotta do what's best for your COD career because you never know. One bad year in a game you're not that good at, you're done.
Well,
That's true.
I think he potentially upgraded teams. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
because
Facts.
if the team was just sticking, like let's say that Heretics team was just sticking, are they bad? No, but like I feel like they caught lightning in a bottle last year, and Metals is still just I don't know. He's not. He's a fine player, but he's nothing like insane. Rencor is awesome. I think Super is good, but I don't think he's like top tier. Whereas like you get to go to Kleenex and Joe, I feel like he took a step up.
Yeah.
Kleenex and Joe are like you're on an org last year where you were making consistent progress. Now you're on an org where you have players that have won. Kleenex and Insight have won pretty consistently for a long time.
Yeah.
Which I mean, that whole Miami fiasco aside, do you guys have thoughts on that, or just publicly just destroying their player?
That's crazy. I don't know what it says. It's a crazy take, but they did.
I
As a
still
guy,
can't believe it's real. I thought it was fake when I saw it.
that was like really pulling for Miami towards the the end of the season, I'm just like kind of appalled and shocked, and as my mother would say, I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
It's bad.
It's like, yeah, I mean, it's embarrassing as an org, especially for a player that was vital to your team success across the year. and arguably probably had the best year of that org's. Well, I don't want to say
Yeah.
career, but like, the whole time Miami's been around or the Heretics have been around, like that was
Yeah.
by far the best year they've had. And it's just like, I mean, good for Real to go get the bag. Do you, buddy? But Miami, fuck, dude, disappointing, disappointing.
And I don't.
Rancor, get out of there.
I guess let's fill in the roster. I guess like before we move on, we can do that. Like I would assume, unless you guys think differently, I would assume that means Metals is probably just going to be back on this team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
yeah, I do.
Yep.
And then I don't know. I don't think Snoopy's a free agent. I think he's locked into Boston. The rumor is that they're targeting Snoopy and they want him because they said they're going to continue. I don't even. It sounds like the player that they want to pick up just has to speak Spanish. They don't obviously have to be from Spain because Snoopy's from Mexico. Um, they just have to be Spanish speaking or able to speak Spanish. So Snoopy is an option, but I think he's locked into Boston. I don't think Boston's going to let him go. Although Boston is just basically strictly operating off they want money. So if they get a good buyout, they may sell
I take
him.
it.
I think Eric Boom is probably the player to just put here though.
Yeah.
He's like the one other Spanish speaking player we know has a history with this team. So I think
Probably most likely.
he's the most likely. Snoopy definitely could go on this team, but just for the sake of what's happening, like in the league, I think we put Eric Boom on this team.
Hmm.
No, not
I'm
based off
alright.
any rumor, but they want to keep the Spanish speaking team. There's limited options. I would guess Boston doesn't let Snoopy go, so I don't
Yep.
know. Not an exciting team. They go from Real, who is an awesome player, to Eric Boom, who really struggled in his one periods in the league in W3.
They need Vico back.
Yeah, Fickle, yeah, would be better. All right. Well, we were talking enough about Real, so let's just talk about the Ultra team. We'll jump back up to Phase over here then. But let's talk about the Ultra team. So we just went through the Real fiasco. He ends up on Ultra or Koi. And basically, it's him replacing Beans or Abe from EWC. He's joining
Yep.
the Insight and Kleenex duo along with Joe Deceive. So basically, Kleenex, I would assume, just like at EWC, moving on to a flex. Real
Mhm.
gonna join Joe as the sub duo here. This team definitely got better from last year. Uh,
Yep.
the fit is definitely there. Like Kleenex is a vet. He's getting older. It's kind of the transition that a lot of the vets make. They go from the SMG to the flex to maybe eventually a main AR, the attach route. Uh,
Yep.
it seems to be a change that a lot of vets make. I like it a lot though. Like if this becomes a really fast 3 sub meta game, you're gonna be hard pressed to find a team with 3 better subs: Real, Joe, and Kleenex. Like it's gonna be a good trio. I've always been like I go back and forth with Insight. He's a really reliable, steady player. He's a clutch player. He's really good at search and destroy. You can win with Insight. He struggled a lot last year. I can see why you would want him off the team. Him and Kleenex, Rock him and Kleenex. After if they team in Black Ops 7, they've teamed in more games than Scump and Formal.
That's
Wow.
insane.
This will be their 7th game teaming. Scump and Formal teamed in 6.
Jeez.
And what was it? The Scump and Formal teamed in all of Jetpacks and then World War II, and then they teamed in MW19 and Cold War. Not consecutively, but they did team in 6 titles. Insight and Kleenex have teamed consecutively. I guess not. I guess they did team with Methods for a little bit. Insight wasn't on the main roster, but they've teamed for 7 total years now. They're tied with Simp and Abezy, who obviously we know are not teaming, at least for now. So if they team next year and one more year after that, they would be the longest tenured duo in COD history.
Jeez.
That's
Kleenex and
incredible.
Insight.
Good for them.
I
I
also
mean,
think though, is this crazy to say that like I think Insight was held back a little bit by Beans last year. Beans was the better player, but like Beans was a little slower too, and like I feel like Insight maybe was a little bit uncomfortable on the map, and I think this team just having a fast sub duo with a fast flex, Insight just being able to play his role, I think he's going to be better this year.
I agree with you.
And I
Yep.
really like this
I
team. I
agree.
think based on what we're seeing of the rosters, I think that they are top 4.
Yeah.
I think it's
I'm
3rd or
really
4th, but
yeah. I'm really pulling for Real now, just to shove it into Miami's face a little bit.
I like the team a lot.
This team's
Yeah.
good.
I think they're really good. I think based on the rosters we're seeing right now, I have them in the 3/4. My 1 and 2 are absolutely locked down by Thieves and Optic. I
Yeah.
have this Ultra team in the 3/4 spot for the roughly confirmed rosters right now. There is a team that we'll get to in a little bit, Gentlemates, that if the rumor roster comes true, I think they could crack the top 4 as well. But for now, my other team rounding out our top 4 is FaZe. People are bashing the roster. I like it. Obviously, you don't have the
I like it
trio
too.
anymore. You have no Abezy. Obviously, Abezy is better than 04. And I would say Cellium is better than Abuza, obviously. But I don't know. If you look at it from the perspective of FaZe, sure, they downgraded a couple players, but Brock and I were talking about this. If you look at this from the perspective of the Surge roster, it's an upgrade. You went from Neptune
True.
to Simp, which Neptune was awesome, but Simp's a better player. And then
Mhm.
you went from Nasty to Draza. Again, Nasty awesome, but Draza's probably a better player. Then you keep Abuza and 04. I think 04 and Simp are going to set pace and be a really good sub duo. I think 04 can play a similar style to Abezy. I'm not saying he is Abezy or is as good, but he plays a similar style, just head bashing, go, go, go.
He runs it down.
Yep.
Yeah. And Abuza is a really good player as well. Like, do I think this roster is going to be as consistently 1 seed every tournament, finishing number 1 in the regular season as the old one? No. But this team's going to be really good. Like, they're going to be a
Yeah.
contender. They're going to be around on Sundays. They're going to be getting top 4s. This is a good team.
Yep. I would say, from what players that were out there and available, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would see kind of half the downgrade from the players they had before.
Yeah, you're
Just
giving
natural.
away the best entry SMG of all time. You literally can't upgrade.
Yeah.
Right.
I think, yeah, like you said, for the players available, like who the arguably the best AR free agent and the best sub free agent were their departing players, so they couldn't get them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of the players that got signed to teams, I mean, like, who could they have really gotten? They could have gotten Kenny here to reunite the Kenny Draza duo that was kind of being talked about. For SMGs, you maybe could have gotten like an Envoy or a Neptune. You could argue would
Yeah.
be better than 04.
Yeah.
Maybe a Real, but like
I think 04 plays better with Simp though.
I,
I think
I
that's what they're kind of viewing it.
I agree. I think that they look at his play style similar. He's not as good. Again, I'm not saying he is a BZ, but he has a similar play
Right.
style that, like, I think the fit's going to be pretty good as well.
Yeah.
You know who I don't know if they would do it, but maybe they could have went for a Kismet, maybe.
I think,
Less, in
I
a
think it
way.
fits. I think him and Simp are almost a little bit more redundant. I agree. I think it would be a good fit because I still think Kismet is one of the most adaptable. I think Kismet has become one of the most underrated players in the league over the
Yeah.
past year. Like, before this past season, he was in back-to-back champs finals, and he was the MVP of
Right.
champs. Like,
Yeah.
Yep.
and for a long time, I was saying I think he's one of the best superstar enablers in the league.
Hmm.
I think
Yeah.
he is just like he will basically look at his superstar and be like, "What do you need? What do you need to be successful?" And whatever that guy says, Kisman's going to do it. I think he's one of the best
Yep.
Right.
teammates. So I think wherever he ends up is going to be a big deal. But I like this phase roster a lot.
I do too.
I think Abuza is gonna hold him back.
Nope.
We all know you hate it. If you watch the stream, you know Brad hates Abuza.
Abuja is very good main AR.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Um.
Yeah.
All right. Then I guess we got Falcons. This is where Cellium ended up. I'm assuming he got paid, so shout out to Cellium.
Shall get that bag.
Yeah, the roster rumor here is the one that we all thought. Sib is kind of the main guy. The connections just make too much sense. So the big thing is right now
Does.
there's a war for Falcons are trying to weigh the decision between Ghosty and Sib here. I think Ghosty would be the better pickup for this roster specifically because damn, they need somebody to play some objective and not bait everybody.
Yeah.
And
True, but
again, like Sib, awesome player, incredibly talented. I just maybe he joins the team and maybe they're awesome. I just don't see the fit as much. I see Sib's fit over on like Gentlemates. I think Sib fits really well. Ghosty,
Mhm.
does more of the dirty work as an AR, and Sib can get kills. Like I think Sib fits a lot more over on
It
that
does.
team. But me, connections and COD are such a big thing. Where there's smoke, there's fire. You got Pred. Accuracy is the coach here. Like I feel
Thank you
like
so much.
I feel like
Yes.
Sib makes so much sense for this team. I think we should put Sib on this team and just talk about that.
Definitely.
Obviously, right now this isn't confirmed. We do know Xnid, Pred, Cellium, but I think we should throw Sib on the team if you guys are down. I think it makes the most
I'm
sense.
down.
Which
I do want to say I feel like the Falcons. I feel like they're just like tossing their money around, not necessarily looking at like what's the team's best fit. Because like I mean, obviously Seb is extremely talented. We've seen it. He has an absolute gunny. But like you said, like nobody's gonna touch the hill on this team. I mean,
nobody's gonna
like
have
I
to.
feel like the Falcons are literally just tossing money around, trying to get the most talent possible, and not trying to like get the best team possible.
I, I just like don't. I don't know if maybe Abezy was like looking. Obviously, like he's looking for money, but I think maybe Abezy actually does care that much and just wants to win as well. So maybe he was like,
Mm,
you can offer me more money, but like I don't like the vision of this team. Like I don't think
right.
me, Pred, Exnid, and Cellium are gonna win anything, which I probably agree with that. Um, but I can go in with Hydra Scrap and Kenny. And also at the end of the day, if you're winning every tournament, you're
Yeah.
probably making more than you were making on your salary. Uh,
True.
Yeah.
so and also like let's be honest,
You're
like
still getting paid.
you're still getting paid a good amount of money to play Call of Duty. I, and some of these players, I mean, they really do care about their legacy. Maybe some are just collecting a check, but some of them, I feel like Abezy is one that cares about his legacy and cares about
Yeah.
winning. I This team on paper, obviously, there's talent here. Like Exnid showed that he can be a pretty solid player. Pred obviously has shown he can be one of the top players. Cellium, Sib, same thing. They've all shown they can be a top player. The fit just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Obviously, I get the connections, the accuracy, Pred, Sib connection. And could they end up
Mhm.
being a good team? Yeah, they could because they have the
Yeah.
talent to figure it out. There are a lot of really good players here. I just don't know that I love the fit. But again, like Selim and Sib are incredible players. Pred is an awesome player. Xnit showed that he has the potential to be a really good player. Like they could figure it out. For me, I just don't see it right now. Talent, they certainly have talent to be a top six team. It's just I don't know if pieces fit right.
hmm Agreed.
Yeah.
But
I feel like it's
the
a.
I
Oh,
was
go
gonna
ahead.
say, I was gonna say, the Falcons roster at the start of the year compared to now is, just gotta love that for the Falcons fans.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
it's certainly upgraded. Brad, what you were saying too, they're just like throwing money around. I feel like right now,
Because they can.
like, yeah, I mean, A, they can. They have so much damn money. But B, like, I think it's also not the worst strat in a way because, like, I think they, like, chucked money at Abezy and he didn't want to go there. And then it sounds like they're chucking money at Thieves to buy out Ghosty. And then Thieves are being smart with the business of it. They're like, okay, well, we're putting on a Ghosty, like a Falcons tax. Falcons are
Yeah.
offering, so they're giving us a lot of money. So if you want to get them, you got to pay at least this much to get them.
Right.
And I think what Falcon's strategy isn't the worst because A, they can just outbid people, but B, like they're just trying to collect all the superstars and then figure out which ones they want to keep. Like they're like,
hmm
okay, we got Pred. Maybe do we want to build around him? Maybe not. Well, okay, now we got Cellium. Like they're also now going to be able to attract players because like they want to keep Exnid to keep their homegrown project going a
Right.
little bit. Like they're obviously upgrades. I mean, I love Exnid and I want him to be on this team because it's just something different. But like they could have upgraded him and made this team a lot better. Like, let's not pretend like they
Yeah.
couldn't have. Like,
Right.
they could have upgraded him and made this team better, but I don't know. I don't hate the strategy of just like let's just collect as many like potential superstars as we can and then figure out which ones we want to keep later when we have all this money. There's worse strategies. They could just be bringing on some terrible team. I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like this roster is similar to what we were kind of talking about before with like the Thieves team without Kenny or Ghosty. I feel like it's a very similar thing where it's like if this team wants success, one of those guys is gonna need kind of sacrifice and like be that dirty role player, you know?
I think Sib's gonna do it.
You think so?
I think so. I think Sib this year is gonna sacrifice a little more. I think Exnit as well. And they're gonna just try
hmm
to let Cellium and Pred shine. I think Sib is gonna take on a little bit more of Lamar type of role. Just shout out to his coach and like his basically his COD mentor. I think Sib's going
Yeah.
to go for it, and I think he is going to start to make a change and play a little different play style, and he's going to be. I think Sib's going to be the most valuable player of their team.
Okay.
I feel like it's a hot take because I
You
think most
think?
people would say he's their third best player.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
Sib's going to be the best player on the team next year.
See, I think that's a hot take just because, like, from everything I've seen from Sib, like, I feel like he's a very egotistical player. Um, like he's
Yeah,
very good, but I just feel like it's gonna be hard to like for him to check that at the door. But do you think, like you saying that, do you think it's because accuracy and pred, like his connections, like you said, do you think that will kind of enable him to be able to do that and
I don't
become
know.
more of a well-rounded team player?
I feel like Sid just really wants to win. I feel like a lot of people
Okay.
do think he has a big ego, which probably is true, but like I do think he really just wants to win.
Okay.
Like I think he has based on just like the way he acts, I feel like he does have more of a drive to win than a lot of players. I don't know. I could be completely off base. He could end up not fitting in with this team, but I don't know. I think he's gonna have a good year. And I think he's gonna, if they are actually good and do meet a ceiling, because they definitely have a high ceiling. I mean, these are some
Oh
really
yeah.
good players.
Oh
They
yeah.
have a high ceiling. I, I think if they are good next year, it's going to be because Sib molded his play style to really help this team.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think, well, like I was saying, I do think one of those guys will have to kind of mold their play style into kind of fit with that team. And if Sim can do it, I mean, heck, he's got the gunny. I mean, he has as high of a ceiling as just about anybody, I think.
Yeah,
So
and
yeah, I mean, if he can mold it, this team could be really successful.
as long as he's not getting baited too much by this team,
I mean, he should
they
just
got some
kind of look
guys
at
that
what
like to bait.
Dashy kind of did over the years.
Yeah, they got some guys on the
Early,
team that like to bait.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'll say. Uh,
Wait, wait, Ryan, I can't believe Lamar accuracy is going to be the fourth.
Exnid, drop Exnid, accuracy on the sub.
Oh,
Oh God.
I mean,
run it
if
down.
this team needs some OBJ, Lamar will
He'll
spawn
do
in
it.
no practice and get 2 minutes 30 seconds in the hill. Shout out to Lamar.
Facts.
The Surge, guys, the Surge fumbled the bag, and that is
Oh yeah.
let me
Third.
explain. This roster, I will never. They're picking up the Challenger champs. I will never complain about picking up the Challenger champs. People that win in Challengers deserve their shots. Mamba and Craze absolutely deserve their shots. Vivid and Mac, I have no issue with them being in the league. The problem is here, like Surge did a rebuild. They brought on 04 and Abuza and Nasty, and then they drop Huke and they bring on Hixie, but then eventually Neptune, and they're like in full rebuild and like they have a successful rebuild. Like, did they win last year? No. But like they had a successful rebuild in the fact that they made a contender, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Like they made a contender. Their team was awesome. Like, so you don't have to bring back the whole team, but let's resign a duo from the team. Let's resign somebody. These teams that are like, okay, well, we're gonna rebuild, and then they, build a decent roster, and they're not willing to pay. Like, why are you in the league?
Yeah. True.
What's the point of being in the league? Like, if you're just always trying to find the cheap talent and like rebuilding, it's what makes the CDL so much less enjoyable than the CWL. Is the fact that like in the CWL, like sure, like you had your Optic dynasty was winning a bunch, and you had Cole, but like people, because there wasn't as firm of contracts, were switching teams all the time and trying to make these upgrades, and you got to see new teams form to beat the old teams, and you saw so many teams becoming contenders and then falling off, and then a new organization became a contender, and then this team made a roster change. They're making roster changes every week. Whereas in the CDL era with contracts and how hard it is to switch around teams and how expensive it's gotten, you've got orgs that bought in but don't want to pay. So then
Right.
you've got orgs like, I mean, let's look at our orgs that are left here. Heretics. I guess Mutineers won an event, but Heretics haven't won an event. Optic, obviously, they've won. Thieves have won. FaZe have won. Ultra have won. That Falcons and that Vegas spot has been abysmal for the entire CDL
Yep.
history.
Savage Legion.
Surge won an event or two with the Pred roster, and they were pretty good, but now they're to where they are. Boston, no event wins. Royal Ravens, not even close. Rocker, one miraculous comeback event
Comeback.
win. The C9 spot used to be New York. They've won. LAG, same thing. One miraculous random Spart Volk
Spartan
fueled
Volk
win.
cheese.
Like you got half the damn league who hasn't even ever been a real contender. And it's because
Yeah.
they're not willing to spend. And every time they get a decent team, they're just like, well, we can't afford them, so let them go.
Mhm.
Like, and here we are with Surge. All that to say that wasn't meant to be a stray to any of these four players. This team deserves to be picked up by somebody. All four of these players, they dominated challengers. But like the plan here is probably, Mamba and Craze show out. They're awesome. They attract two other good players, and this team gets consistent top fours, never wins anything, and then Mamba and Craze get sold off the top teams if they continue to play really well. Like, I don't know. I'm not moved by this team. I they were really good in challengers. Mamba and Craze will probably be awesome, but like this team probably is like going to be 6 through 8.
Yeah.
But like it's cool because I'll never complain about the challenger champs getting picked up, like I said. But Mamba and Craze, excited to see them play. We kind of know what we get out of Vivid and Mac, but I'm just upset more at the Surge roster for getting a team that got you 4 second places and you don't even attempt to keep any of them.
Right.
They had a Booza in 04 or Booza and Neptune with
Yeah.
the young guns.
Why would
Yeah.
Neptune not be kept? Like, especially
Yeah.
when it seems like his market is low this offseason. Like, there isn't a
Right.
lot of interest in him for whatever reason, and he was one of the best players in the league last year.
Right.
Like a Neptune
Especially what he
04 team
did
is
for the
something well.
team.
Yeah.
Right. And especially like what he did for the team. Like you guys were literally nothing. And then you picked up Neptune and you rattle off second after second after second. Like he turned don't get me wrong, Nasty, Abuza, 04, great players. But if you don't had or if you didn't add Neptune to that team, are we gonna be talking about this search team the same way that we did?
They might not have made
Probably not.
champs. They might not have made
Yeah,
champs.
exactly. Exactly. And it's wild to me. It truly feels like how a lot of people view baseball as far as like, oh, everybody is the Yankees and Dodgers minor league system. It's like I don't know, it's just sad. It really is because like you want to see the CDL be competitive all the way around. And like you said, so many of these teams really have never competed in the
Well,
whole entire CDL existence.
it's FaZe, Optic, and Thieves making super teams. Ultra making a really, really good team that's going to pluck an event here and
Fourth
there.
place.
Yeah, like Ultra is going to be that pesky other team. You had subliners for a little bit just because they had Hydra,
Yep.
Yep.
winning. And then you got like random teams here and there, like Miami for a little bit this year starts to, like be a bit of a contender. Surge for a little bit. Like these other teams here and there become contenders for a bit, like on and off.
Mhm.
But you got Optic, Thieves, FaZe, and then Ultra kind of being in there a little bit, just always being the teams that are the super teams. And other teams just like, yeah, well, we just don't want to spend with those teams. It's like, okay, then why are you in the league?
For real.
Like you're not
Sell the
going to make a
spot.
lot of money in this league. Like you're not making money and you're not putting a winning team on the table. So like, what are we doing here? Like, speaking of not putting a winning team on the table, we're on to the Boston Breach. Uh, right
They
now
never
it looks like they're keeping their trio. Snoopy potentially being targeted by Miami, so he could be gone. But haven't heard a ton about this. They're looking for an AR. I mean, I just think Awakening's going to end up back on this team, to be honest, or Skies.
Yeah.
We have like no rumor at all,
Whoever's
so
the cheapest.
I don't want to put anybody on here even. But like because we have like no rumor at all. But like I would assume Big Wake is fielding offers. Maybe he doesn't get anything, goes back there. Maybe Skies. I don't. Whatever. This team with this trio is going to be solid, but they're just going to be a middle of the pack team all year for the most part. They might scratch their way into champs again, but I can't see them being too much of an impact
Do
team.
you think Breach kind of rolls the dice on Lunars, hopefully hitting his upside?
Nah, I don't think so. I think that. I'm trying to look at the players over here. Like, could they sign a guy like Lunars? Yeah, I think they go more the vet route. I think they go like
Okay.
Arcitys, Skies, bring back Awakening. Maybe they try like Spart. Because I think they're going to go cheap. I feel like Awakening, Spart. Lunars would be cheap. I think there's too much bad blood between Beans. Maybe they go Brack. Maybe they go with a
Do you think
veteran
they
like Fellow. I
go?
think they're going to go with the cheap vet.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they go the cheap vet because of Purge and Snoopy being younger players?
I think they're
Or
just
why
cheap.
don't you think they roll the dice? Oh, okay.
I think the
They
org
just don't
just
pay.
I think the org just doesn't pay and doesn't care. Truthfully, that's what it is. Like
Okay.
I mean it's because it's owned by Robert Kraft and like the Patriots group, but they tried to like I still don't even know what happened. Do you remember this, Brock? Like last offseason, like the players were basically told you have like everybody in the organization was told you have like 4 days or whatever. Like you have till tomorrow to get all your stuff out of the
Yeah,
office. And like we're disbanding the company. And you have like
yeah.
a day to get everything out. And they just like kicked them out. They like took away their leases on their apartments in Boston. They like everybody was supposed to disappear. And then like nothing came of it again. And then like they were just back in the CDL and they were like operated again. And it was like, wait, I thought the whole Boston breach like organization was done. And the Craft
Right.
Esports Ventures, Oxygen Esports, whatever it is, was just like done. Remember, like,
Yeah.
what's that guy, T Dog and like Doug were not going to be content creators for them. Like, they were supposed to be gone and like, and they're just here still.
Mhm.
And they're unwilling to make roster changes or spend money.
Yep.
So again, like, why is this team in the league? We're left with a team that literally doesn't want to be here and doesn't want to spend any money, so they're not going to make changes. Like, they are getting whatever vet, Awakening, Arcitys, Skies, Spark, Lunars, like Brack, Fellow, Gunless, illey,
Alex.
all the Hecz, Diamond Con. They're getting one of those
Formal.
guys.
Anyone
Formal
for
will
the
never go to this team.
Former would, yeah, he'd rather just not do that.
So I don't know.
I do.
Are you guys
I do even want to talk about that.
are you guys down to just say they're gonna get some random veteran AR and be middle of the pack to lower mid?
Honestly, like you said, they'll probably just come back with Awakening.
Which you know
Run
is
it back.
which you know is really sad because Purge actually showed me something last year. Like he was
Yep.
good down the stretch and can be a good player
Yeah.
on a good team. And Snoopy again has all that talent. I think Cammy is fine and is like a player that can be in the league. But like if this team was actually serious and like would have gone after like a Mamba to like a talented AR player like that, and then added like a Skies even like a veteran or another talented AR that's on the table. Like they would have like pretty aggressively went after like a Sib. Team could pick up Geo too. I could see that. Like if they could have gone after like a Mamba and another like talented player and just like gone the full young route, it still would have been pretty cheap, but they would have some talent. Like if they would have gone like Mamba Geo or I don't even know like Mamba Skies, I'd have been like okay, like they're bringing in Skies to be the vet for the team, bringing in a talented player like Mamba, Snoopy, and Purge, so they can be a decent sub to go. Like I see the vision. Now they're just going to be boring. So prove me wrong, Boston.
Yeah.
Make an actual change.
Yeah.
I mean, boys, these three at the bottom, we got nothing. We got no kind of
There's
rumors.
nothing.
C9 seems like they're trying to either sell off Sib or make him a free agent. Doesn't seem like Sib's going to play there. So I don't even want to like fill out rosters for these teams because we have nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, based on the rumors here, Kismet's got to be on one of these teams. I would hope.
Yeah,
I guess
I would hope to.
let's fill out Gentlemates, and then we'll talk about those three. So
Do
Gentlemates,
it.
we have these three down here. It sounds like they're targeting Envoy, Neptune, and Ghosty. Ghosty obviously also a target for the Vegas Falcons, but like we said, it seems likely Sib winds up there, so we're saying Ghosty's gonna be on Gentlemates for the sake of this talking point.
Yep.
Sounds like the question is for the flex, which they're in a head-to-head battle with Vegas, according to Breaking Point Ronnie. The Gentlemates are in a head-to-head battle with Vegas for Sib. While a buyout was initially expected, recent reports indicate Sib may just hit straight up free agency soon. If Vegas wins the race, Gentlemates are prepared to pivot towards former Royal Ravens Rookie of the Year Gwyn or even Nasty. I mean, Gwyn, like, cool, I guess. Like, the fit's a little weird because, like, he's probably going to have to run a flex.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to take Envoy or Neptune off a sub. I don't know about that. Nasty, again, kind of like the Sib thing. Nasty makes a lot of sense. Like,
Mhm.
team with Ghosty on LAT. He teamed with Neptune last year. Like, there's chemistry there, obviously. So I don't know. Like,
Guys,
yeah, Skies maybe, but I feel like Nasty they're gonna pivot to Gwyn or Nasty according to this article. I think Sib ends up. I would love Sib on this team. I'll say that. I
Yep.
would love Sib on this team. I think he's the best
Yeah.
pickup for the team. I think he is the home run. I think they need to keep going after that. If I was Sib, unless the bag from Falcons is different, which it probably is, if I'm just looking at team by team, if I'm Sib, I'm no doubt signing with this team over that Falcons team. I know Cellium and Pred are like attractive players to play with, but like if I want to win, Ghosty Envoy Neptune's a nice roster. But I think Nasty ends
Mhm.
up on this team.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Brad.
Geo?
Yeah. Brad's computer's dying, I think, on us. He's gonna grab his charger quick.
Yeah.
Uh
Alright.
Brock, I
Yeah,
think Nasty makes the most sense in this team.
it does. Let's do him nasty.
Although,
Solid player.
who do you think is the best pickup between the rumors of Sib, Gwyn, and Nasty? In order, I
Man.
guess. Order 1, 2, 3.
I'll do probably Sib, Nasty, Gwyn.
Do you think it's pretty close between Sib, Nasty, or do you think it's like definitely Sib?
I definitely think Sib's a tier higher than Gwyn and Nasty, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, Gwyn on the
For this
right team
roster.
makes sense, but Gwyn just like also the fit is like the least. Like, there's
I
obviously a
don't
lot of
know.
raw talent there, but like he just, I don't know, it just doesn't fit. Like, he's gonna have to
I
try to
don't really
learn to
see him running
flex,
flex,
and
really.
yeah, I don't know. It's just like, and I don't want Envoy on a flex because he's way too impactful out there at the sub, and I definitely don't want
Yeah,
Neptune on a flex.
yeah,
So I don't know. Like Gwyn on this team, just like I love Gwyn as a player, and I want him to get, you know, one of these spots on Royal Ravens, Cloud9, or G2, but I don't see how he really fits on this team. So I think Nasty ends up on this team.
mhm,
Yeah.
yeah.
Dude, then on these other rosters, that's what I was gonna say. Like, we don't really have anything.
No.
We
I do
like
feel like
don't have
a
anything.
Kismet yeah, but like looking at the players available, like I feel like Abe deserves obviously there's gonna be some people left out, but like Abe deserves a chance, I think. Win, Kismet, obviously, Kremp, Nero.
Yeah, I think like Nero, Gwyn, Kremp get on these teams. Like maybe Kremp goes back to Boston and purge flexes or something.
Right.
Uh,
Didn't
like
Johnny pop
yeah, Johnny had a
towards
solid
the
end
end?
of the year. Like Estriel probably remains on G2, so like I don't know. Like Cloud9, I feel like there is a decent roster to be made if you do like Kismet, Kremp,
Gwyn,
yeah, or Gwyn. I feel like Kismet, Kremp, Kismet, Gwyn with like a I don't know, maybe you bring on like a Geo and like a Skies to reunite with Kismet, but that didn't work last year. I don't know. Like
yeah,
I still, dude, if I'm one of these teams, because it'd probably be a minimum contract, and like I know, like it's a minimum contract. I'm like gonna sign illey still.
yeah, facts.
Yeah.
Like I know it's been a long time since he's played, but like the last time we saw him play, he was playing at a really high level for Surge, and obviously the whole
Yeah.
Adderall rumors
Someone
and all
should
that
shine
stuff.
Tej.
Like yeah, Tej is another one. Like there's gonna be some stable players left off rosters, but like I don't even want to put together. I mean, we did the random rosters last week. Like I don't even really want
Yeah,
to put together just like random teams to put on for these three because we don't have any rumors at all that I've seen at least.
Right.
But I'm curious to see
yeah,
where these
not
teams
seeing
go.
anything.
I don't know, boys. Right now, I'm liking the looks. Like I think that like of the teams we actually officially have rumored, like the Falcons, FaZe, Optic, Thieves, Ultra, even Surge, Heretics, Gentlemates. Like I think we're looking at a pretty competitive league, and there are still enough players out there to make some good teams.
Oh yeah.
I would say
Um,
so.
yeah. Uh, I mean, there's Battlefield 6 stuff going on. I haven't really like done enough with that game. It's the same thing for me. Like I've been hearing Battlefield 6 is really good. I've always enjoyed Battlefield. I still don't love like the bigger, long games, big maps, but Battlefield's cool. But like, can we stop with the COD killer thing? Like, how many times have either of you heard this game is the COD killer? And it's
Like
like, I'm
every
not
time a game comes out.
I'm
Yeah.
not trying to defend COD and be like COD is king, COD is the best thing ever because COD has really fallen off since. I mean,
Yeah.
we sound like boomers from the rooftop saying like back in my day it was better, but like I mean, COD has there's been like I mean, I think MW3 from 2 years ago was like the best COD we've had in a really long time. I
Since probably
still
Cold
think
War.
I think MW3 is the most fun COD to play of the CDL era. I think it was more
Yeah.
fun. The maps that if they didn't have the maps, it wouldn't have been. But the maps they added, I think that later, like second half of the year with the new maps, I think that was the most fun
Yeah.
ranked play experience of any Call of Duty in the CDL era.
Mhm.
I mean, I
That was
like
pretty good maps.
I really enjoyed like
Besides
Vanguard playing and
Vanguard.
stuff. uh,
Yeah.
but like that, I mean, I think MW3 was like pretty objectively the best game or Cold War, one of the two. But like, can we stop with the COD killer thing? Like, Splitgate at one point was a COD killer. X Defiant was a COD killer. Every time Battlefield comes out, it's a COD killer. It's like everything is supposed to be a COD. Like, if somebody comes out with a first person shooter, it's a COD killer. And it's like,
Yep.
I wish something was actually good enough and, mainstream enough to push COD to be better because that would be a dream for all of us if COD just like continuously got better. That'd be the best because CDL would be more fun to watch. I'd have more fun playing it. Viewership would go up. Like
Yeah.
everything about
Everything.
COD being good would be great. But like, let's stop with the COD killer thing. Like Battlefield's not killing COD. It won't be as popular as COD. Like Call of Duty could release the worst game they've ever made next year and it'll still be more popular than Battlefield. That's not me being
Yep.
a COD homer. That's literally a fact. Like
That is
Yeah.
a fact. Yeah.
COD has people, it has people hooked. Like it's been around since I was a little kid. Like it's going to continue to be around unless they decide they don't want it to be around.
Since before I was born, it was around.
Basically,
Yeah.
um, the other thing I want to talk about in relation to the next COD, after I just bashed them a little bit, but also kind of praised them, I guess. Uh, it was Ghost of Hope as of where is it? As of I'm trying to find it here. 4 hours ago. So he tweeted on July 4th, tax sprint is in BO7, dot, dot, dot. And then he quote tweeted that 4 hours ago and said, there's currently a build of Black Ops 7 being tested right now that has no tax sprint. Doesn't mean that the final game won't have it, but this is a very good sign. I feel like, if that's funny, the top comment on that post is Battlefield 6 is dead.
I saw that.
Um, but obviously, again, not final. Like things can change. Things change all the time. But Treyarch, we all know, is the smartest developer. And from all the stuff we've been hearing over the past little bit, is it sounds like Black Ops 6 was kind of something they had to rush out. And Black Ops 7 has always been the big game that they've been planning. So I have a lot of hope. Again, it's Call of Duty. I've learned not to get my hopes and be like, this is going to be the best game ever because I'm probably going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
But if there was one developer that would save us and do the no tax sprint thing, probably Treyarch. And that would be so nice because it's not. I feel like tax sprint isn't as noticeable in the recent games, but like, dude, in the other games, like in MW2, when I was trying to kill somebody, and I was gonna slide cancel, and my gun went flying up in the air because you have auto tax sprint on. It's like, dude,
Yeah.
like tax sprinting is for Warzone. Leave it on for there. Like, can we get the real,
Yeah.
just like one sprint? It's terrible, but I hope
Mhm.
that that is true. I hope that it stays out in the most recent build.
Agreed.
In Warzone instead.
This is yeah, so this is the other thing he tweeted right before that. This is what I was talking about. Um so scan the QR code. T Dog posted this, like it was in San Francisco. The biggest lie tech ever told is it's on your side, the guild, and I guess you like scan it. I think it's like something for the campaign. But then once somebody found this, Ghost of Hope posted this, that the guild site that was like for a promo for this COD was actually created a year prior to the Truth Lies site, which was the promo for BO6. So it adds to the theory that BO7 was the main game all along because the website that they created um, was created on May 4th, 2023, and then updated on July 29th, 2025. Whereas the Truth Lies website, which was like the teaser promo site that was an Easter egg for Black Ops 6, was created on February 1st, 2024. So it was actually created a year later, or I guess like what, 9 months later, So it
Yeah.
does seem like they were trying to promo the Black Ops 7 one first, and it was like the main thing they were focused on. And then, oh no, we had to pivot and promo Black Ops 6. So it's kind of the rumor that's been the thing all along is they had to rush together Black Ops 6 and put it together. And Black Ops 7 has been the game they've been working on all along. So now my hopes are officially higher because it does truly seem like Black Ops 7 is the game they have been working on for 4 years.
Yep.
So we let Treyarch cook, and
He's
I pray they give me another BO3 or BO4. I also
True.
saw a rumor from a pretty reliable leaker that it's basically confirmed that like Raid, Standoff, and Slums and maybe another map are going to be in the game off rip, and potentially it's like we thought before, a combo of Black Ops 2 maps as well as new maps, just literally the dream. We have Black Ops 2 maps to fall back on for competitive, but ideally we don't even have to use them because we have amazing new maps. I don't know. My hopes are high for the game, and I'm just ready to be disappointed.
I'm ready to be disappointed too, but
Yeah,
have a little bit of hope still.
because like, I mean, when it's Infinity Ward, I usually am satisfied with the game because my hopes are so far in the dumps that like
Yeah.
I don't expect anything. So if I even have a little bit of fun playing the game on an Infinity War game, I'm like, okay, that's fine. MW2 somehow was below that. MW2 is the worst COD ever made. MW19. They're the new ones, not the
That
old
was a
ones.
pretty bad year.
I stand on the fact that MW2, the new one, is like worse than MW19, and MW19 sucked.
I would say
MW,
that too, but
bro, we played
I
an
played
entire
it
year
for that
without
mini
red
map
dots.
too.
We didn't have red dots in the mini map. I had to play Silo.
That's so true.
That game
Yeah,
was so bad. I mean,
but
That
the
was
MW19 was
the
guys
also
worst
awful.
map
have
ever.
2019 is the worst game ever.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
Vesnev, love that.
you know who made both those games? Yeah. Dude, Infinity Ward literally hasn't made a legitimately well-loved title since MW3 original.
Hmm.
Because Ghost was not very well received when it came
No.
out. People didn't really like it. People like look at it with rose-colored glasses now, but they didn't really like MW9 or not MW19 Ghost when it came out. They literally haven't made a good game since what was that, like 2011? Dude, it was
That
14 years ago. Yeah, because 2010 was Black Ops 1, then it was MW3, then Black Ops 2. So yeah, like 2011, 2010, 2011. They haven't made a good game since 2011, dude.
Wild.
long time ago.
Yeah, time for them
Holy
to go.
smokes.
Yeah.
But like, and then for Sledgehammer, I kind of keep my expectations in the middle. Kind of like they made always pretty like solid games. Like Vanguard was, fine and decent to play. NW3 was pretty fun, the new one, and AW was pretty fun. Like World War II, I actually thought was pretty fun. Like to play competitively at least. Like overall, like Sledgehammer makes decent games. They're definitely the second best in my opinion. But Treyarch always gets my hopes up, and I know we have an Infinity Ward title coming the year after, so I'm probably really gonna enjoy the Treyarch title.
Yep.
That's I think that's all I had for stuff today, though, boys. We got a little bit of BO7 teasers and then all this roster stuff.
A lot of roster moves.
Yeah. And we still don't even know that. Obviously, the cheap spenders haven't really done anything yet, but hopefully they do something actually worthwhile.
Yeah, well, yeah. The only thing I saw is like looping streaks might be back in BO7, which I I thought. But yeah, remember we heard the pick 10 rumor, but it sounds like it actually might be Gunsmith. That's an L. Um,
Unlucky.
I I don't know what he means by looping streaks. Does he mean like re-rolling streaks or like? I'm assuming he means re-rolling streaks. You know what? But I'm also confused. Or does he mean looping? Like, remember Brock? Like there were streaks in older Treyarch games where it was like it would come in 3 waves, like like a rolling thunder. Remember the rolling
Yeah.
thunder in Black Ops 1? Brad, you probably don't know what that is.
I know it from other games.
I don't think it was in other games. Something similar was though. Like
Rolling
rolling
Thunder?
thunder was basically like it was like a carpet bomber where it would like
Yeah.
bomb a certain part of the map and then like 15 seconds later it would bomb another part. So I don't know if he means like that or like re-rolling streak. But re-rolling streaks has been in recent games, just it's like delayed. Like you can't get it right away.
Yeah.
I remember Brock, that was your and I's like level up strat. We would use UAV, counter UAV, and like Hater or whatever they called it in that game, Blackbird, Hater, VSAT,
Yep.
and just like the 3 assist machines. And then if you got all 3 up in the air, you get plus 30 for every kill your team got, and you just farm streaks and XP.
That's probably what he means, right?
That's what I think he means as
It
well.
sounds like it. Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure. Trying to see if anything else at the time. I don't think so. I think we can probably wrap it up, boys.
Yeah. I'm excited to see
Actions?
some more of these rosters.
Yeah. Oh, the Optic Legacy match just happened. Formal Huke Merkin Methods, 5-2'd Scump, Bose, Crim, and somebody else. I don't know. Oh, and shottzyy. Merc dropped a
Damn.
1.45 on their head. Huke had a 1.25. Bose,
Rick's still going crazy.
pour one out for my boy Bose. He dropped a 0.6.
Hey, bro,
Oh, God.
he's trying his best, bro.
Been a while, bro. Bose is a legend. shottzyy had a 0.86. Crim had a 0.92. Zinni had a 0.86. Yo, that's Zinni's never gonna let Scump hit the end of that. But that's hilarious. Everybody in the comments is saying, "Don't worry, Bose. They don't want to see you on Ghost Twin."
Facts,
Uh,
facts.
Shout out to Bose. But that's gonna do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed,
What
be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. What were you gonna say?
I kind of want to ask about the formal stuff. Like, why is he all of a sudden like possibly? Well, I
Halo?
think the Optic, but like, is he really gonna sign anywhere with a COD team?
No, probably not. But Halo is done for. Halo is after like what they had Salt Lake City. They have like 1 or 2 events, and then champs. So they either have 2 or 3 events left, and then HCS is not putting a circuit on next year for Infinite. They're focusing on the new game. So
Oh,
that's the big rumor is like Legend and Bound and who's the other guy in Optic that's really good? Renegade, like Renegade and Legend especially, like the really top tier Halo players might end up
mhm,
on COD teams. Probably have to play challengers first. Obviously, like there was a
mhm.
rumor that Legend, a certain CDL team would offer him a spot tomorrow if they knew he was coming over. I would assume it's probably Gentlemates because he's French
Okay,
and he's supposed to be like Hydra level generational talent in Halo. So people would, I mean, it's happened before where it transitions to COD if they play long enough when you're that
right.
good in the controller.
Mhm.
The problem is those their chances in like like October, I think, right around when like COD is coming out. So they have like all the rosters are going to be finalized by then.
True.
But a lot of those players may start playing COD. But again, like if you're formal, you're 30, you've done everything in COD. Like you're not going to get on Optic unless they're like abysmal mid-season. But if Optic
Right.
is really bad, I kind of doubt that Mercules or Dashy are the ones being dropped. It's probably going to be Hook because he's always a scapegoat.
True.
So Formal's not replacing him, and like if you're Formal, you're probably not like gonna be like, wow, Cloud9 has 3 challenger players and they want to add me, or like
That's true.
that Boston team is looking for a main AR. You really think Formal's coming back to play with Purge, Snoopy, and Cammy? Like I don't think so.
No.
Like I think unless Formal has a god tier team, he's just like, yeah, I'd rather just stream.
Okay.
But that's the
I just
reason he
kind of
keeps
wanted to
popping
touch on
up
that. Okay.
because Halo's circuit is ending, so all the Halo players potentially could come over to COD. We could really see like truly like Legend, Renegade, some of those other top players over in Halo. We truly could see some Halo players make the transition. We could see some insane talents that are the top of Halo come over because like at least a few of those guys are going to be elite Call of Duty players. Like
Yeah.
Shotzzy and Formal exists. Crim came from Halo. Like plenty of players come over from Halo, and I mean we're talking about Formal, Shotzzy, and Crim. Like those are 3 of the greatest players of all time. All came from Halo originally. So like
Right.
some of those players are going to be good. But officially, that is going to do it for this one. If you guys enjoy
Right.
it, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. If you're on the audio platforms, drop a follow, drop a 5-star review. I don't know what we're gonna do next week. It'll probably be more roster talk, potentially. Um, I'm assuming we're gonna have some more rumors, some official signings going down, but that if there's not, we'll find something to do for you guys. But we're at that time where we're dragging for ideas because we don't have COD for another 3 months and then probably 4 or 5 for the season. But thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.